Hello and thank you for joining me. This is a weekly tarot card reading from the 1st to the 7th of December. I'm not doing dailies just at the moment. Throughout December I will be doing just the weekly readings, but I'll be picking a few extra cards to help you through the week, which I hope will help you and resonate with you in some way. Now this particular week, there's a lot of stuff going on astrologically. On Sunday, the 1st of December, we have a Sagittarius new moon. I always feel Sagittarius has got quite a fun energy about it. So maybe setting some intentions to have a little bit of fun over this next month might be something you could do. I forgot to mention last week as well, we're in Mercury retrograde. I've certainly felt like that this week, desperately looking for keys and various things that have been going wrong in my house that have no explanation. And we've also got Mars retrograde. That's towards the end of this week on the 6th. That's going to be focusing about stepping into your authenticity and maybe, even a whole new identity. So that's quite exciting. And then on the 7th, Neptune goes direct. So if you've been following the Neptune retrograde, you may well be looking forward to that. Obviously, this is not an astrology reading. I'm just giving you some of the highlights of what you might already know, but I'm going to see how the tarot relates to all those goings on now. I've got my chakra oracle cards, and I thought they'd be a really good pack to pick an intention for the week, really. So let's see what they've got. Trickery, well, that's Mercury retrograde, isn't it? So I do really feel like that is the retrograde energy coming through. As I say, we've got Mercury and Mars in retrograde at the moment. Jupiter's also in retrograde as well. When retrograde energy is around, we can feel an element of trickery. I do feel that this relates to communication though. Misunderstandings or people maybe not being 100% on the level with you. And I do feel that this is saying about being careful. One of the things retrograde teaches us to do is slow down. If we're rushing through stuff, we don't always look at the finer details. So this week, if you're signing contracts or looking at paperwork or dealing with salesmen, maybe you're, buying a new car or a kitchen or something, and you've got to really think about the details and not rush into stuff. When we have been tricked in any element, it is a real lesson for us, but it's more of a lesson if we can be aware that that's around and not get into it in the first place. This squirrel is talking to this dragon. The dragon's got like a giant acorn there. The squirrel's got little acorns there. And I feel like the dragon's kind of say, hey, do you want this acorn, little squirrel? And the squirrel's so focused on what he could have, he's not seeing the danger that he's in, that potentially he could be that dragon's meal himself. So, I mean, we've all done it, haven't we? And we do say when there's a Mercury retrograde especially, be careful with your communication. Make sure you know exactly what you're buying. Make sure exactly what you're signing. And yeah, just take care. So, that's intriguing. I'm going to pick a tarot card now and see if they can give us a little bit more information about that. I'm drawn to the green there because I do feel, yes, green sometimes is about healing, but I feel with this card, it's a little bit about jealousy. And we don't like to say that we're jealous of people, but if that element comes out, we can easily get manipulated because we're working on our ego level, aren't we, rather than our soul level. So, without judgment, have a look at that. Maybe think about things that you feel other people have got that you want and why that is. It's a bit of a deeper understanding there. Oh, that's interesting because that's the 5 of Cups. Now, the 5 of Cups generally is about looking at loss and changes and uncertainty. So I really do feel we are dealing with this retrograde energy. So when the Sagittarius new moon comes in, it's almost inviting change. Take a chance, do something a bit different, have a little bit of fun. We don't always like change, and sometimes changes can come in and we just don't want them. And that's why the Five of Cups can be quite an uncertain card, because it's playing with our emotions. We like our emotions to be stable. We don't like to be triggered. And I do feel that these two cards together are saying that on some level, you might get triggered. Your emotions might get triggered. But take a moment, take a breath, slow down. Think about why that is. I always feel on the lead up to Christmas, we can often, even though we've spent all year doing lots of inner work and feel like we're in a really good place, certain Christmas songs can catapult us back to, a world where we were a very different person. So, you know, if you're growing up in the 80s or 90s and you hear a certain Christmas song, it might make you think of when you was in your teens or your 20s or 30s. And it takes a little bit of time to realise that you're not that person anymore. And those emotions that you're feeling with that nostalgia that comes in at this time of year, you know, you're not that person anymore. I do feel there is an element here of being really aware that you are a grown-up. Sometimes we have that imposter syndrome, don't we? And we still allow people to make us feel like we're a little bit younger or feel a little bit vulnerable. And I feel like this is, if you don't step into your power, this is when your emotions can run away with you, or you can get caught out in some way. So there's definitely some lessons being learnt this week and some opportunities for change for the better, or to kind of dodge difficult things that you know don't serve you anymore. I'm shuffling these the wrong way around so I could see what they all were. Could manipulate the reading then, couldn't I? Right, let's see who comes out now. Okay, once again, wow, this is a difficult week. We've got the Seven of Swords now. The Seven of Swords is about trust, okay? Trust issues. We don't know the full story. We don't know what's going on. There's a lot of energy here that could really catch us by surprise. So I'm really glad that this is a weekly reading. Refer back to it throughout the week. We don't know what this guy's doing. We don't know why he's got all those swords. Did he steal them from someone? Did they give, did he find them? What are these crows doing? What are they saying? What is their story? Why are the clouds so dark? We don't know what's going on. We don't know what's going on. We can feel something's not right, something's changing. So I want to say with the Seven of Swords, if you're in a situation with people and you can just sense that something's not quite right, then go with your instinct and delay making any decisions or agreeing or going along with what people are trying to get you to do. Again, I do feel sometimes there is an element of manipulation when we're in Christmas. It's that kind of tugging on your heartstrings, feeling guilty that you're not doing enough or you're not in 6 places at once. It can be a time when your energy is very scattered, your mind is very scattered because you've got loads of things going on, loads of things to organise. It can be very easy to assume we know what other people are doing or thinking and we haven't actually got it right. I really do want to say for this reading, slow down this week. Can't stress enough that this week is about double checking that you're understanding everything. And if your intuition is saying something's not right, you really, really have to listen to it. I'm going to pick another card actually from these because I feel like we need to know a little bit more about that story, but maybe we won't know anything. Okay. We've got a little bit of respite here. We've got the Fool. Now, don't be a fool. Don't be naive. The naive qualities of the Fool can be a negative aspect. But what we're getting here is a symbol for us to be a bit freer. And I do feel that that is, as I said, that Mars retrograde energy in its wonderful way of, dealing with lots of difficult situations. We can be more authentic. We can stand up for what we believe. We can speak our truth. We can follow our own path. The fun aspect of this Sagittarius new moon, this setting intentions of how you want your life to be, a little bit more freer, a little bit like this Fool. Maybe you want to start something new or transform your life in some way. The offering is there, but we have to navigate some difficult energies from outside, around us and within us to get to that stage. But if you are setting intentions that, you know, already thinking ahead for 2025 and how you want that that to be for you, and putting in some groundwork, see, when we want to change our lives, other people don't always like that. You can get a little bit of animosity in your workplace if you've suddenly handed your notice in, people being a bit narky, or, you know, if you want to do something different this year with your Christmas celebrations, or you're planning to move next year and, you know, people's noses are a little bit out of joint. You could get something directed at you, and you've got to be aware of that, and maybe a little bit thick-skinned as well if you know what you're doing is right for you. Sometimes not everybody is on board and likes that, so just be aware of that. Okay, let's have an animal to finish off our week and see who comes out. Snake spirit. Oh, here's number 55, 2 5s. It's about that changing again, isn't it? That uncertainty. Snakes, we often associate with being a little bit slippery. Again, there's that trickery element in there. But time to heal. So I feel, yes, there's two messages with this snake. So of course, people don't like snakes. People are frightened and wary of snakes. Again, it's that element of, oh, I'm not sure about this. I'm not sure if I want to tap into that spirit. But don't forget, snakes shed their skins. When they outgrow their old self, they literally shed that skin. And I really feel that he's coming in to remind us of that's on some level what we're going to be doing as we're working with this Mars retrograde energy that starts on the 6th and goes through to February. It's going to be a time when we're wanting to shed our own skin and step into our own new identity, new authentic self. But snakes also coming in to just talk about how that may affect other people, what we may be wary of. Not everybody is going on that spiritual path of trying to better themselves. You know, some people are quite happy to be in this situation forever and just repeat that drama and chaos. So I do feel this is going to be like an obstacle course to get to where you want to be, to keep your eye on the version of yourself that you're working towards and the environment that you want to live in. That's the prize, that's the end goal. But yeah, we're going to have a few little people or situations coming in this week that might try and throw you off balance. So you're aware of it now. You've got this weekly reading, so do keep referring back to it if unusual things or come up in the week. I'll be back again next week with another reading for you. So have a lovely week and I'll see you then. Bye for now.